Hi, Mike. Couple for me. First of all, you're the team nominee for the Masterton Trophy. How did you feel when you found out? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, obviously a huge honor. I think anytime you're nominated for an award in this league, it's not taken lightly, and obviously a huge privilege to be nominated. Um, I think we've talked about this before when I've been on. I think I don't believe that anything that's done in this league is done on your own. Um, Obviously, it's the ultimate team sport, and especially in my position, I think it's something that you don't do by yourself. So I think it's something to be said about our whole group, and obviously wouldn't be in this position without the support of my teammates and family and friends and stuff like that. So obviously a huge honor, something I'm very very proud of.
And last night, a different circumstance for you not to dress for a game. So how did it feel watching it? Where were you? I don't know if you were at the rink or if you watched on TV from the hotel. But what was it like? Where were you? What was it like being a spectator?
Yeah, I mean, I think the main thing is just we're balancing, rest and work and just getting ready for, game one of the playoffs. And you know, the nice thing about this season is having a third guy around where you can, get spelled off and Stalock's done an unbelievable job of being that guy and brings an unbelievable attitude to the rink every single day, even though it's difficult position that he's been put in. Um, but yeah, it was nice to get kind of a breather and take a couple of days off from on ice activity and kind of get some treatment done and some work on the body, and then kind of rest the mind for a little bit and kind of ramp things up towards playoff time.
Your Matheson post media.
Mike, your coach Dave Tippett says you'll have a conversation with you and Dustin as to whether you want to play the last league game. How are you in terms of that, knowing that it's a meaningless game and you don't want to risk somebody running you over in the goal crease, and at least getting a game in there if you have to wait another 5-6 days before playing?
Yeah, I think it's like I just mentioned. I think it's a balance of making sure you're prepared and ready to go for game one, and not putting yourself in a position where there's risk for injury. So I think you want to be as prepared as possible, and I'll be ready to go game one. But it's just, I think we have some time in between some games now. You don't want your layoff to be too long in between games, but also you want to manage the practice time and the rest as well. So it's something that we've talked about already, and we'll take it one day at a time here and just kind of go with the flow.
Stalock is a very good puck handler too, but is he just half as good as you? He's about half your size.
I mean, Stales he's been a great pro for a long time in this league, and he likes to venture out of his net also. So I'm not going to compare him to myself. I think we're two totally different goaltenders, and even the way we play the puck. But he's had a tremendous career also, and very similar in the way we venture from our net, I guess, and trying to help our team out.
Mark Spector, Sportsnet.
So, Mike, you've played like 15 years, I think 640 games, 41 games, I think. And you've really only been able to be part of one significant playoff run. Maybe you could characterize, for a guy that's been around that long and hasn't had a chance to play on the teams that went far, what's going on in your head with a team that you got a pretty good team in front of you here?
Yeah, I mean, I've had opportunities through the course of my career to be on teams that are, good teams. I was in Tampa. We went to the conference finals. Boston beat us. And, I didn't play a lot at that time, but kind of resurrected my career a little bit. I got in 2 games in the conference finals and played well, and learned valuable lessons. Obviously, every time you get in the playoffs and you get deep in the playoffs, and you find yourself close to the finals, I think it's those experiences can only help. And then obviously the first year I went to Arizona, was able to to play the majority of the games there in the playoffs and really get a good feel of what it's like to be, that close to your childhood dream. And there's nothing like it. there's nothing like it. And I can always remember in Tampa, Marty St. Louis told me after we got beat out to Boston in Game 7, we were out having a couple after, and he said to me, it's nuts that you have to play 82 more games to get back to the level of playoff hockey. And I mean, he's just nailed it. There's nothing like playing in the playoffs, and all those experiences that you have, over the course of your career are valuable, and you never take those for granted. But excited to be back in the playoffs, and this team's done some great things in the last 2 years, seen some great growth with this group, and I think everyone's excited to play in important games here.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys sort of look at these things, go, okay, they're building a team here, and they have a few more pieces, and maybe they can do it this year, but maybe it takes another year. And I'm kind of looking at you, and you're probably very impatient. You said the other day that you're around here for one trophy and one trophy only. Can you sort of characterize, I don't see you as a guy that's on a 3-4 year run here. I would think you're pretty impatient to win something and win something soon.
I don't think anybody is, to be honest. I think, your goal at the start of the season is to make the playoffs. And now, we've done that. I think you don't just now go, oh, we're fine now, we'll do it next year. You only get so many opportunities to compete for the Stanley Cup. And, your career goes by fast. I mean, it's crazy to say, but I can remember as a 24-year-old being my first year in the league and guys telling me, enjoy it now. It goes by quick. And you're thinking okay, old goat, I got a lot of time left. And now I'm the old goat, and I'm just trying to say the same things to these younger players too. And, seasons go by so quickly, and chances to win, are few and far between, it seems like, in my situation anyways. And it just doesn't come around as often as you think, and it's not as easy as you think to get into the playoffs for one, but then make some noise when you're there. So I think our mentality as a group here is we have as good a chance as anyone else to win. And, we're super excited to, play important games.
Jim Matheson.
Mike, we mentioned your 640 games. By goalie standards, is that a lot of games? I mean, we're not talking Roger or Patrick Waugh here, who played over 1,000. So 640, even for your age, is that a lot of games for a goalie?
Not enough. It's not enough. I don't know if it's a lot, but it's. I think there's some significance to it, obviously, but. I haven't really thought about it, to be honest. I think it's just when you're living it, you're not really thinking about it, and you're just kind of taking it one game at a time and kind of enjoying the ride.
So when you have seen guys play that number of games, do you consider themselves yourself? You look at them and say, "Oh, you've been very lucky to." Even like Fleury in Vegas, he's played 900 games or whatever it is. Do you just think, if I'd started in the league at 18, then I'd be up to 900 too, but it just took me a little bit longer.
Everyone has a different path. Everyone has a different path to the league, and I learned a ton about being a pro and getting a work ethic. My 4 years I played in the minors, and there might have been a couple of years where I thought I deserved a chance to play on the big club, but ultimately I spent the early part of my career kind of finding kind of who I was and what kind of goalie I could become. And I think all those lessons that I learned in the minors were valuable. And my first agent I ever had, Mike Gillis, used to tell me that it's an endurance race, not a sprint. And it has been one for sure. And I've always kind of kept that in the back of my mind that, it's playing as long as I have, I think it's a special thing, and to be able to share it with your family and friends is something that I always kind of thought about. And when I came in the league in Dallas, and you're seeing other kids around the locker room and families around, it's something special that I've been able to share with my kids, and something I'll cherish forever.
I asked you one question about Adam Larsson. Defensive defenseman, is that every goalie's dream to have a defenseman who's a really solid defensive defenseman in front of him, which Adam seems to be that kind of player.
Yeah, Lars is a dream to play in behind. To be honest, he's such a competitor on the ice. He has such an unbelievable personality off the ice, and he's just a guy that he'll do anything to win. And that's the kind of guys you want. You want on your team. And obviously, you don't usually have 6 of them, but Lars is a special player for us. I think he's just, from my time being here, he's improved, dramatically over the course of the last 2 years, and really, been a big cornerstone for us on the blue line. So he's a guy that works extremely hard at it, and like I said, we'll do anything to help the team win, and huge part of our decor.
Thank you very much, Mike.